on moose knuckles and bananas. Out a another day's worth of what's going on in the world. Frankie C is here. So is Janine. How you guys doing?
Hanging in there.
Okay.
Haven't.
Big news for us here in the Northeast would be that there's going to be a flyover from the Blue Angels, and they just announced their schedule, which is pretty exciting. This is the detail on where they're going to be and what they're going to be doing, which is kind of cool. They'll be over New Jersey. I like that we included New Jersey in this because really we don't have to. And I love ignoring New Jersey when we should, which is almost all the time.
Did we ever figure out who owns the Statue of Liberty? Is it Jersey?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. There was a fight over that. Isn't it
I
like,
feel like it landed on Jersey, and everybody was pissed, and we all just kind of forgot about it.
no, I think it was that Jersey owns a majority of the island, but the little portion of the island that has the actual statue on it is New York's. Is that it?
So we split the island in half.
I think so. I think that's what it
That,
was.
that
You
doesn't
shall
seem.
not pass.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
we.
that's what happened.
I think we split the island, but we got a bunch of the island and we have the island that has the statue on it. And then like once that was like the answer, then like nobody really cared. They were like, all right, whatever.
Hey, listen, if we get it, if we don't, it's American. It's American island.
That's true. I just like this little like paper cut, like not paper cut, but that little like what do you call that? Like paper clip. Doesn't it make like a little paper clip thing right there?
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
It does.
What is that like? It's like that like exotic paper clip too. It's not like the traditional paper clip. It's
Yeah,
that
I
weird
know
It's
what
one
the
you
that
mean.
you.
fancy one.
Yeah.
You pay like
It's the
10 cents
fancy
extra
one
for it.
that it's the fancy one that Gizmo uses in Gremlins when he makes the Rambo bow and arrow.
Is that it?
It is.
All right.
Look it up.
40 minute flyover to salute the COVID-19 responders. Times are subject to change, but they'll take off over the George Washington Bridge. They'll do a fly around Newark. Then they'll head down in towards Brooklyn. Then they'll take it out towards the island right around 12:20 or so. Circle up the island, come up and hit White Plains and Westchester a little bit, and then they're going to shoot down over to Philly, and then they'll be in the Philadelphia, Trenton area, DC area from about 1:45 to 2:15. I mean, it kind of stinks though because not a lot of I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see them from
Yeah.
where I live. Janine, you're kind of like right on the cusp.
I can't see what's the last town.
I don't know. I mean, it looks like it looks like it's going to be around the Islip
Okay, maybe.
area, Babylon area. That's what it
I
looks
don't think you're
like.
going to be able to see it, Ant.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it, but can you see? I mean, how far can you see in the sky? I mean, it feels like pretty far.
Regardless, the planes are going to be way too small. You're not going to be able to spot a plane how many towns away.
No.
You don't
I
think
mean,
so?
if it was a 747, but these are one man, two man planes. These are tiny. It's like spotting a pair of kites in the sky. They're tiny. They're small, or a car.
Pair of
It's like
what,
spotting a
Frank?
car kite.
Okay,
You know those
good.
things on strings.
Clarify that. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to spot, especially from where you are. And I think it's going to be one of those situations where you're going to hear it, you're going to run outside or run to the window, and you're going to miss it. How
Yeah.
how 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 much time are they going to be over your area?
Uh,
These things are moving.
that's a weird thing. Like this whole thing they say is going to take like 40 minutes. They're saying it's a 40-minute trajectory around this. I feel like it's 5. I feel like they can fly around these areas so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they're making their way down to Philadelphia, that's included in that 40 minutes, right?
No, no, this is just for the New York, New Jersey spot. That's not including Philly. They're gonna take off some other time for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's fast to move around like that, but 40 minutes seems right to get all the way out to Long Island. I'm sure they're not gunning it the whole way.
No.
Probably not. Yeah, my guess is probably they're not. But I don't know.
And what was different with the air show is they did all these tricks and maneuvers? Are they gonna do any of that, or are they just flying by?
It doesn't really say. I would imagine they're going to do some kind of cool things because that's what they do. You know,
Right.
like they'll do some
Where are those cool
formations.
things?
Yeah, I don't know that. I really don't know. They don't really give that much information. I think we're kind of lucky to get this like map overall.
Yeah, I'll take the map. That's fine.
But the Blue Angels are encouraging everybody to, of course, watch from a safe distance, stay in their homes, remain quarantined. Because that's the thing that I was like looking at. Like I even had this conversation with my wife where I was like, should we get in the car and go like somewhere where we can see it? But then it's like, how many people are going to be thinking and wanting to do the exact same thing?
Yeah, you might run into some traffic there. And are you going to get out of your car? Where are you going to be? That takes some planning.
Yeah. So I don't know about that, but I think it's cool that they're doing this, and I think they're going to do it in some other places as well. But right now, New York and New Jersey, Trenton, and Philly are going to be the first couple of spots that they announced, and it's Blue Angels and Thunderbirds too. I believe it's going to be the Thunderbirds too. So
Nice.
that'll be cool for everybody to see. You guys we filmed it. I mean, you guys are going to be over it. But here's the other thing too. Like, I mean, so where they're going, you know, like if you're not like directly over the path, you don't think that those people are going to be able to see it either? Like they're flying straight through the island. So Howard Beach, the old stomping grounds, is not near where they're
Yeah.
going to be flying. You think all those people are not going to be able to see any of this?
There's going to be a huge bunch of people that aren't going to be able to see this. I mean,
Huge.
it's
Huge.
huge. But I don't. But you know, there will. That's out of their control. There's nothing they can do. I mean, they can't go everywhere. They can't hit every spot.
That's what she
That's why
said.
the air show was what it was. But they're making this path. Plus, they have to be within regulations for the airports and things. I don't know how often those things are running, but they also have to air traffic. They have to coordinate with air traffic control. I'm sure.
Yeah,
So they
because
can't be everywhere.
no, they can't be everywhere. You're right, which is unfortunate. But I don't know. I wonder if this means that we'll get like. I wonder if they'll pop it back on the air show. I feel like we should get it for like July 4th maybe instead of Memorial Day weekend.
Oh yeah.
I bet everybody's going to be clamoring for it once this is all over. And if the summer isn't completely done by then, I'm sure they'll be booked solid.
Well, it feels like reopening, at least in New York, is a possibility. Governor Cuomo was talking about that in his press conference this morning, saying that May 15th he will unpause regions of New York. So probably not us, but upstate will probably be a little bit more free to roam. So we'll see how that does. But it doesn't matter if you're streaming things, which a lot of the Star Wars fans will be doing because Rise of the Skywalker is coming to Disney Plus on
You
May
almost got it.
4th. Rise
You
of
almost-
Skywalker? The Skywalker?
There it is. Rise of Skywalker.
Fill us in, Frankie. See what's happening here.
Rise of Skywalker is coming out 2 months early, May the 4th, Star
Okay.
Wars Day, as everybody should know.
And let me
You know
just say
that,
to
Janine?
everybody out there, May the 4th be with you. Let me give you one of these Star
Right.
Wars
On the
things.
4th.
That's why May
Yeah.
the 4th is known as Star Wars Day, because it's May the 4th be with you. And it's going to be available streaming on Disney Plus, I believe.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to it. I think out of the last 3 movies that came out, which would be 7, 8, and 9, 9 was the better of the 3.
Oh
So
really?
they are up to 9
It
already?
was.
There's 9 of these things?
They did 4, 5, and 6 in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
Then they did 1, 2, and 3 in the 90s.
Right.
And they just finished. This was 9. 7, 8, and 9 they did.
So which one is this one? This is 9?
This is 9. This is the final one. This ends the timeline of this story, the Skywalker saga.
I'm excited
no
to
more
see this
movies.
one. We
Yeah,
could
it's-
not
you
see
haven't
this
seen it.
one. No.
Okay.
Are you
Because, I
serious?
had
You
this
being
thing
serious?
come out of my body.
I thought you were being facetious.
No, really.
Oh, that's right.
I enjoy them.
Do you really? So you know about this stuff
I
too?
really do. But I didn't enjoy the ones in the 90s, though.
The prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like episode 1 was like they did it for kids a little bit. They wanted to attract more kids to that one, so they had Jar Jar, which was like ill received, but they toned him back in episode 2, but made it a little too serious. They tried to balance it out in 3 and made it like 3 was the better one again out of those 3. But
okay, so
I think this one was the solid one.
If you have to rank the 3s, the first 3, the middle 3, or the last 3, what's the best one?
You mean rank them as a group? Like the first 3 would be the ones that came out in the 70s were the best.
Okay.
And then I would say it's weird because you got to pick different ones from each group. If I had to rank them all as...
I know it's weird. It's Star Wars. It's very weird.
I would say
you don't like them or you do?
The final 3 were better than the prequels.
Or you don't like them as much as this guy?
I don't. It's not...
No. Don't even compare. He saw like 2 of them. They were out of order. He confused C-3PO and R2-D2 with each other. Exactly. You can't go by him.
I knew which one they were, but I'm not...
Me.
He didn't know which one was the gold guy.
That's C-3PO. I know it now.
You know it now.
I got it.
All right.
I like
What's Darth
them.
Vader's real name?
Oh, I think I know this.
Exactly.
Anakin? Is it Anakin?
Very good.
See? I kind of know.
All right.
It's just
you got me.
It's good. Here's my thing. I like stories, and this is a lovely one. I'm into the folklore of it all, but it's just I've never been able to like, I don't know, sit down and watch them all and really dive in and enjoy them. And it's just, I don't know.
Why not?
I'm not sure.
Now you're so busy. I understand.
Okay.
Carve out 2.5 hours and sit down and watch one of them.
Here's the weird thing. I watched all the Marvel movies, right? And I didn't do them in order. I didn't do it the right way. But we got through all. We wanted to see the big ones, so we watched all the big ones in order, like Iron Man, and then Avengers, and then all right. So that's what we did. Guardians of the Galaxy was there. I fought that one. I don't know what it was. The talking fox, the whole Groot. I have
to agree.
But I will say, I did wind up watching them, and I thought that Guardians of the Galaxy was really, really good. But I resisted it for the longest time because there's something not appealing about all of that stuff to me.
So you're not into science fiction?
I guess so. That might be part of it.
Sharknado?
No, I've never seen a Sharknado. I can't watch that crap.
What?
To me, that's so
sci-fi.
much. That's so much worse than Tiger King. That garbage. I can't even.
Sharknado.
It's just terrible. It's awful. But I don't know. There's something about it. Now, the Marvel movies aren't really realistic, but they are sort of based in reality, so I can hang with that for a little while. It's got to be, I don't know. But I appreciate the realism of the Star Wars movies. I don't know. Something about it I just haven't been able to like go with. But I follow it religiously in an odd way. Like I know the business end of it more than I do the actual.
How could you avoid
story?
Yeah, I mean,
it's everywhere.
It's just one of those weird things. But I don't know, Janine. So you would put the last 3 first?
I would think. Well, no, I like the ones from the 70s and 80s. Then probably the last 3, but I have to watch the last one.
You haven't seen the last one yet. Okay.
No.
But this isn't the end. This isn't the end, though. There's still going to be more movies.
There will be more movies, but not in this saga.
The Skywalker
1 through 9 is it. There's not going to be an episode 10.
Do you think people will care enough if these characters aren't? Because correct me if I'm wrong. Throughout all of them, it's the same characters. It's the story of the same characters. Whether it's
different
origin
generations.
Or right.
It's not really the same characters because one of them like takes place 20 years before the next set before, and then another 20 years go by.
But it leads into, right? Don't they all tell one fluid story?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
They all have to do with each other.
Right. Is anybody going to care or give a rat's ass once they get out of that that timeline, that trajectory, that family tree telling. Is anybody going to care about that?
Yes, only because what they're gonna go and do are these shoot off stories that are like spin off stories. Like you're gonna get Obi-Wan is gonna be a series, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he was a major character in these movies, and they're gonna go and do this side series with him, and it's gonna be outside of the movies, but it'll be interwoven, and it'll be his backstory. So people will be interested in getting to know the characters that they already know, but getting a little history.
I see. So it's gonna fan out. It's not gonna be like this was one part of the galaxy. Now here we go into another part and tell a whole different story.
Everything that they've done so far has been related to something, to the original stories in one way or another.
It is Monday, so we must talk about what we streamed from over the weekend. I will admit that I didn't stream any Star Wars from over this weekend.
I'm shocked. Audible gasp.
But we'll start with Janine. Janine, did you stream anything from this weekend?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We watched Bad Boys for Life.
The Will Smith.
Why the laugh though? Because that's a good series.
Hey, I went to the theater to see that.
Wasn't it good?
It was the last movie I saw in theaters, before the world ended.
Okay.
Right.
And then we watched the first episode of Unorthodox on Netflix.
Okay. First of all, I laughed, by the way you called it Bad Boys for Life, like with a full title and everything like that.
Like, I went to see Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
It was just very official.
Just want to clarify.
Wait, first of all, so how was Bad Boys for Life?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I love Martin Lawrence.
Me too.
He is funny. He's great.
He is funny.
Did you ever see Blue Streak?
Yes, Gaetano used to love that movie. Oh God,
That movie's hilarious. I love that.
I know,
movie.
but I've probably seen it about 100 times.
It's fantastic. Tell Gaetano when this is all over, we're having a Martin Lawrence-a-thon.
Oh God.
There you go.
There were some parts in this movie that I actually laughed out loud, and that's very rare for me.
And Bad Boys for Life?
Bad Boys for Life.
There you go. Did it complete the trilogy well? Can you rank the 3 Bad Boys films with the 3 Star Wars?
Oh.
Where do they fall? I'll break mine. I'll break my news first.
Go ahead.
I'd rank the Bad Boys movies number 1, and then all the Star Wars after that.
So you like Bad Boys before Star Wars?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Bad Boys, the first one was phenomenal because it was one of those rare films where
Phenomenal?
Yes, it was phenomenal because it was one of those rare films where you can get a lot of humor and also a lot of action in the same movie. Like it was equally a comedy as much as it was an action thriller. I would say it was phenomenal. True. I would say it was good. It stands out.
It's a good movie. I wouldn't say it was great. Like it wasn't a classic. It wasn't
Godfather,
like
Star Wars.
It wasn't Star Wars. Wow. It wasn't,
But I would put it like
it was a buddy cop movie.
Yeah, but I would put it as one of the greatest buddy cop movies of all time.
Oh,
I agree.
Maybe I have to think. That's a good question. What would be? I mean, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I would put it in the. I'd put it in the conversation.
I'd put the Lethal Weapon series way above Bad
Why?
Boys.
Mel Gibson?
Because they're just better. Forgetting Mel Gibson, I know.
Have you seen 4? Because
even so, 4 wasn't bad.
No, but my point is,
I saw Bad Boys 3, and it was. I'd see 4 first.
Well, my point is,
really,
yeah,
you would put Lethal Weapon 4 over Bad Boys for Life.
I would. I liked Bad Boys for Life. I had no problem. It was very corny and cheesy. Like it had a lot of those, one-liner things that I thought we were done with by now. But it's fine.
Oh wow!
I took it for what it was. It was good. It was comedy. I get it. It's Martin Lawrence.
All right, fam. You have to go watch it now.
Comedy.
Let us know your opinion.
Can't wait to see it. I just feel like any film like that gets 3 movies, that's kind of a big deal. Like 3 major theatrical releases.
Saying it's bad. It was good. I liked them. I liked all 3 of them. They got, they did 4 Lethal Weapons. They were good.
Just not as good as Lethal Weapon. Okay, get it.
This is
They
controversial.
were good.
Mm.
Before Mel Gibson flipped, I know he's a nut job. He made good movies. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know if we'll ever
He sucks
financially
now.
recover from this controversy that you're spewing out right here before our very ears.
Okay.
And Unorthodox on Netflix. Gaetano actually enjoyed that. You only watched the first episode so far, but it's interesting.
Oh God. Okay. Now I can't tell you mine. Because
What'd you watch?
We binged the entire Unorthodox, all the episodes.
Did you?
Yes.
See? And did you like it?
I enjoyed it. Here's the thing. I really my wife is very like, it's when it comes to things like this, I would say 95% of the time I'm the person coming to the table with a suggestion. Does that make sense? Like in your relationships, I'm sure you both want to do things, right? As far as like entertainment goes, because of this, and the radio show and everything, I know a lot more. Like I see everything before she does. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I know when something's coming streaming. I know when something's coming to the movies. So I'm always the one that's like, hey, do you want to do this? Or do you want to see that? Or do you want to stream this? It's usually me, right? For the most part. So very rarely is she like, hey, I saw this and I kind of want to see it, So she suggested it and I enjoyed watching it. I really because again, it wasn't something that I didn't even know about it. I would have probably never picked it if it was up to me. So I enjoyed watching it from that standpoint of like, it was really refreshing to see something that, wasn't typically like down my alley. So I really enjoyed it from that standpoint. But it was, again, one of those shows where it's done so well and it is really good that I don't like, I'll never watch it again, but I'm happy that I watched it because it's a really heavy
It is.
subject matter. And the other
What
part
is it
of
about?
all right. So it's about the Orthodox Jewish religion. I don't even know how you would refer to the Orthodox Jews. I don't even know how you would say it.
Yes.
And it's about this woman who, and I'm not spoiling anything here because you see this in the show starts in the first 2 minutes with her leaving. So she's leaving her husband. She's leaving the lifestyle, the religion, whatever you want to say. She's leaving. So the first episode, I mean, it pulls you right in. So I didn't even know what it was. Like I know what it is now, but I didn't know what it was when we started watching it. So I was like, let's watch another one. Let's watch another one. And we eventually got through the whole thing. But I don't want to say anything outside of that because it changed my mentality. It changed what I thought about it when I learned where it came from. When I learned more about the series itself, it changed my thought process on it a little bit. So it's about that. And you really do learn a lot about the Orthodox Jewish religion, which is fascinating to me because I'm not an overly religious person. And I certainly don't have a great tolerance for my own religion, which doesn't really leave a lot of tolerance for other people's religions. And when I say
but it's
tolerance,
very interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. When I say tolerance, I mean like some of the customs and some of the things that they do. It takes a lot of work and dedication, and you lose me on those things, like not eating meat on Fridays, or some of the sillier little rules. You tend to lose your old pal Ann on those. So there's a lot of rules and regulations in that religion, and some of those things were a little. I was like,
Hey, it's not not everybody can take it. Not everybody can hack it.
But the thing is like you're so on the protagonist's side that you find yourself annoyed at those things even more because you're rooting for her. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It makes it. You kind of are like, why is this even happening? Because you're so on her side from the get-go. that it is one of those tough things to watch. But watch the whole thing, and I want to know what you think about it, Janine.
Okay.
But it does say
right.
something that we tore through the whole thing in one night, like one night.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how many? What is it? 2 seasons?
One.
It's okay. It's one. See, I didn't know it was just one. It's technically a what do they call those things? Like a
Miniseries?
Miniseries.
Docu-series?
Yeah, miniseries. Yeah.
Not documentary, right.
Yeah. And it is based on somebody's real life, which
Yeah.
I didn't know. I will say, like, we watched the whole miniseries, which I didn't know because I thought I was getting into something that I could get into for 2, 3, 4 seasons. You know what I mean? So that was part of it. And then we watched the making of right after because we were like so hungry for more. And that was really really interesting. And the odd thing with that is, you know, what's interesting about that is, you know what, I'm not going to say because I don't want to reveal too much. That was our little night. So Unorthodox was that. And that was juxtaposed with last night we watched The Last Dance, which is all about the Michael Jordan last year with the Bulls and the last championship, which is so fun and so good. It's like complete opposite, you know, sides of the world there.
Of that, right.
I couldn't imagine. It's about his last year with the Bulls. Now it's like 10 episodes, right? It's a long series.
It's longer than Unorthodox, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, how much could it? You've watched the whole thing?
I've watched. Well, they're putting it out incrementally, so you're getting 2 episodes every Sunday night, starting from last week. So there's only 4 episodes out right now. So next week's 5 and 6.
Are they half-hour or hour episodes?
They're hour episodes. But
how could they? I mean, can't imagine what they're talking about.
I know they're hour episodes, and there's not a lot of commercials. Like State Farm and Facebook are the only real sponsors. And so you'll get like a minute and a half break, and maybe you'll get like 2 of those in a whole episode. Like it is almost like 56, 57 minutes of programming. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. This was originally planned to be, they were going to show this when there was no NBA. It was going to be during the NBA finals on nights that there wasn't a game. They were going to plug this in and show it. That was their original plan. But when this happened, they moved it up to do it here. But they still wanted to do the every Sunday night thing. But dude, it is chock full of.
I can't imagine.
It's so great. And I don't know about this, but like, this was sort of the allure for me too, with watching like all the OJ stuff that happened like a year or 2 ago. Remember when there was like a documentary series and there was like that other series. I watched all that stuff. I love watching stuff that I was alive for, but yet too young to understand.
No idea what was going on.
And like
the MJ stuff too.
You kind of know, like I knew what was going on with Michael Jordan, but all the back end business dealings and, you know, the general manager. This story really is about the general manager, the coach, and the players. So when you're like, I don't know how old we were at the time, but 14 or whatever.
In the 90s.
I mean, even when you're
14,
18.
15?
Yeah, even when you're 18, you kind of, you know about Michael Jordan, you know about Scottie Pippen, you get it. You know, you hear people say things, but you have no idea what the business was or the understanding like you do now in the world. And it just makes it so much more interesting. You're kind of like, now I understand why this happened and that happened. I know what this means now. And it's just it's so great to watch shit like that.
We're going to watch that too next.
It was like McMillions. I had no idea. I'd play the Monopoly game and everything.
I know, that was a crazy story too.
McMillions was crazy.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
Nobody knew about all this. It went right under the radar because the trial happened literally, I think, the day before 9/11.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So obviously it wasn't making headlines.
No.
So nobody really paid attention to it.
Yeah, but all that stuff, like it's those things that you can remember, like you know, the lottery game and all that, and then now you get like a deep understanding. What was great about McMillions is everybody in Florida was winning, and nobody put 2 and 2 together. That like 80% of their winners were from this one part of Florida. Frankie C, what did you stream this weekend?
I watched the Ozarks. I'm up to
That's
the
because of
middle
me.
of.
Thank
It
you.
is because of you and Guy.
Of
You guys
course.
love it. Well, Guy never stops talking about it. Whenever we bring
Mm.
up any kind of TV, it's the Ozarks. And I have to say, he's right. You guys are right. You and Guy are 100%. It's an amazing show. Jason Bateman is amazing.
Yes, he is.
And, oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. Laura?
Feels sexist.
Something?
Laura Dern.
No.
No, not Laura Dern.
I'm blanking on her name too.
Laura Fern.
She was in Congo. Yeah, Laura Fern.
Laura Fern, Laura Dern,
Laura
Laura Byrne,
No, she's amazing. Whoever she is. Let me see. I'll look
Laura
right now.
Linney.
Is it Laura Linney? No, is that right?
Lindley?
Laura Dinney.
It is Laura. It's Laura Linney. Yeah, Laura Linney. She's amazing.
Denny.
They're both incredible. And I'm in the middle of the third. Erin and I are in the middle of the third season. And
Damn,
it's
you guys
phenomenal.
watch that fast.
Oh, we're flying through it. It's an hour every episode. There's 10 per season. We are flying through it, and it's amazing.
Doesn't it?
You would like it, Ann.
Mm.
See,
Okay.
I think I would, but the trailer for the season 3 is turning me off to it in a major way.
Don't pay attention to the trailers.
No, it's really good.
What? Give me the
It
all right,
is
start
really
from the
good.
beginning because I love Bateman. I watch Bateman and anything.
Me
And here's
too.
the other problem.
He's amazing.
He was in something that was super heavy on HBO, having to do
Yes.
with death, and I kind of confused the two. So I kind of was just
Okay.
like, I wrote off Ozark early on because of that. Like, I don't want to see shows based on like little girls being murdered. Like, I can't. I don't.
No, it wasn't. It's different. It's not that. It's
Yeah.
This is about drug cartels and laundering money and stuff like that. The other show was Stephen King, murder,
More like a psycho thriller.
Yeah,
Supernatural.
and he's actually. I mean, I think he's directing and producing these things.
Yep.
Jason Bateman, he's got a huge hand in both of these shows.
Huge.
And
Huge.
yeah, and it's just I highly recommend the Ozarks, and I think Anthony, you would like it.
Yeah,
Doesn't it want to make you want to launder money now that you watched it?
No, no.
Oh, it totally
You
makes
see
you
all the-
want to do it.
All of the crap they go through, that no way, it is not worth it.
Oh. I guess we're just different people, Frank.
I get so. It's definitely not worth it. It scares the crap out of you, basically. It scared me from ever wanting to do anything like that. So
Nothing illegal for you then.
no, thank you.
Okay, so now I'm looking at 30 hours of television here.
Minimum, because they're not
It's
done.
worth it. What's the other one that was on HBO?
Oh, what the heck was it called? The Stranger, The Outsider. The Outsider.
Okay, so fam, you didn't watch that?
No, I didn't watch that.
I thought that was excellent as well.
Really?
It was good. I don't think it was as good as the Ozarks.
It's not as good as the Ozark because it's two different angles, but I like supernatural stuff, so that's why I liked it.
Yeah.
But it was good, and I
It
watched
was.
it because of Aaron.
Yeah, no,
Really?
it's definitely good. And the main guy, the main character, is very good. I don't know his name either. Who happens to be in a Star Wars movie, but that's another story.
That's right, he is.
Can we just talk about what a comeback Jason Bateman has had in this lifetime?
Right?
Like
He was
from
a child
Teen Wolf
actor.
2 to he's like one of the more respected actors nowadays.
The Hogan family.
That's right.
That was one of my favorite shows.
Because
Teen Wolf 2.
he did Hogan Family, he did Teen Wolf 2, and then I feel like
Teen Wolf.
we threw
There was
him
like
in
one
the
or two other things,
garbage.
and that was it.
Yeah, and then do you want to know what one of the most underrated performances ever was? That is hilarious.
Oh,
I think I know what you're
Can I
going to
guess?
say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jenny.
The movie with him and the spelling bee.
No,
Oh,
Can I guess?
go ahead.
Smoking Aces.
No,
Oh, he's in that.
the sweetest
What do you
thing.
got? Sweetest thing.
sweetest thing.
Sweetest thing is
that
Jason
right?
Bateman, Cameron Diaz. Who's the Bundy kid?
I know who.
Oh,
What is that movie about, though?
from Married with Children.
From Married with Children. Yeah, It's this awful movie about not finding love, like one of these like
Yes.
rom-commy like things. But Jason
Yeah.
Bateman
I forget
is
he's in that. See?
hysterical.
Hey, Arrested Development
And then
was
Arrested
amazing.
Development, yeah. But this was before that. I think he
Yeah.
got Arrested Development off of The Sweetest Thing. That was like his first like comebacky, like you can do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
You should
He's made a
check out
huge
that
comeback.
movie though.
Which
The
one?
spelling bee and the curse. It's like the F word or cursing or bad word, something like that.
Oh, I think I
Sounds
vaguely
familiar.
remember hearing something about this.
That was good.
Yeah, I do remember that. But I mean, that's like he's had one hell of a career now that you just don't have anymore.
No.
You
And
know,
not to mention the fact that he was a child actor that didn't either fall off the face of the earth
right?
or, or have some kind of weird psychological issue.
We should have found him in a crack hotel in Newark somewhere, dead by all and
Right.
he is basically the exact opposite of that right now. Like, you can't get more opposite than dead in a Newark motel.
Right.
Right. He's I think would you consider him A-list?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Right? I think he is.
And then he kind of like runs in that Vince Vaughn crowd too, where they're just like pumping out. Like he was in Couples Retreat, he was in Horrible Bosses. Like he's just
I
like
liked him in Horrible Bosses.
Oh my God, he was hysterical in Horrible Bosses.
I feel like he's
I
like
love that.
he's like an automatic green light. Like if you can attach Jason Bateman to something, you're gonna get it made.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
incredible. And he attributes a lot of his success and his comeback to his wife because he was in a bad place with drugs and everything.
That's right.
And his wife told him, "You got to stop, or I'm out of here, or whatever." I don't know exactly. Don't quote me on that. But he
Quoting.
turned his life around because she straightened him out,
Is that right?
and he's like completely 100% devoted to her, and like would do anything she says. So she's like saved him.
See, if we would have had a little bit more of that from Yoko, we'd probably still have the Beatles to this day.
Maybe.
It's a shame. Takes some and some doesn't. Dr. Anthony Fauci a couple of weeks ago said that he wanted to, if he could be portrayed by anybody on SNL, be portrayed by Brad Pitt. And then
I saw that.
in
That
maybe
was amazing.
one of the more hilarious movies of all time ever, Brad Pitt literally portrayed Dr. Anthony Fauci as, I guess he was the quasi host for SNL at Home episode 2, which we don't get a lot. Like Hanks didn't do any sketches. He just did that
No.
opening piece. And this was a little bit more from Brad Pitt. He actually did a opening sketch. He did the cold open as Dr. Anthony Fauci. And it was just downright hilarious.
It was.
Like,
You guys all see it?
yeah, I saw
saw
I
it.
did,
right?
yeah.
Even
I
more,
thought it was hysterical.
even more than the content of it, which was funny, was the idea that Brad Pitt would just agree to do this.
Right.
Like,
He's
because
such a cool guy.
and really, the joke is just that like Dr. Fauci said, "Oh, I'd love it to be Brad Pitt because it was so far fetched," and
right.
then
And look what happened.
look what happened. There was Brad
There he
Pitt with
is.
all the time in the world to come in and do the whole,
Pretty
He
hysterical.
does some cool stuff. There's the Jim Jeffries show. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, isn't Brad Pitt like the weatherman or something?
Yeah. Every now and then he'll pop on at the end of the show to do like a 30-second sketch as the weatherman, and he kills it every time.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then didn't he do that for John Krasinski's Good News show? I think recently.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. Probably.
There's another guy, Brad Pitt, who could have went horribly wrong, right? Kind of became an alcoholic, blew through Jennifer Aniston, blew through Angelina Jolie. He was married to Aniston, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 marriages falling apart. Like, we could have all turned on Brad Pitt. And I feel like even he sort of righted the ship a little bit and is now in this kind of hilarious and fun and entertaining place.
No, he's pretty funny. Frank has Frank has no comment. Look at his face, Frank.
Frank's either frozen or I've bored him to death.
Frank, are you still with us, sir?
It would be so hilarious if he was just sitting still and not.
I had to go closer to see.
I don't know what's hanging on Frank's wall today. Can you see, Janine? It looks like a bag of some sort.
A bag of dog poop is what I'm going with.
No, it's too orange for dog
He left
poop.
it there.
If that's dog poop, we got to get that dog checked.
Well, it's time for us to go anyway, isn't it? Or
yes,
no?
It is very much time for us to end this episode.
Well, Frankie, see, you look really pleased with that.
I think I'm just gonna leave this live and see how long it'll take him to unfreeze.
And next time I will be eating a banana on live podcast.
There you go. Bananas and what we're gonna call it? Bananas and moose knuckles.
There you go.
The first part of this show got jumbled up a little bit because it didn't make it over to Facebook Live like it was supposed to.
Oh, okay.
So
well, he's just messaging us that he can't get back in. So I guess that's it.
Yeah, I guess we'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there.
Excellent job, Janine. Yeah, there you go. Janine is going to eat a banana on the next episode. And I think I will too.
So strange.
Exactly. How about I'll do every sort of odd sexual thing that you're going to do just to make it completely uncomfortable for all the men that are going to tune in to watch you.
I like it.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
All right.
And I need a new job anyway, so I mean, here you go.
Bryce wants us to talk about Dave Matthews Band before we go. I don't have any Dave Matthews Band news.
Down.
Do you think we're going to get summer tours? I feel like, what's her name? Taylor Swift canceled her summer tour, and I figured everybody's going to follow suit.
I'm excited about the, it just totally blew my mind. Who was coming back this summer?
I don't know.
That I wanted to go to. Rock band. Alternative. Billy is the lead runner.
Smashing Pumpkins?
No. The other
Green
Billy.
Day?
Green Day, there you go. Whew. Got that mommy brain. And they were performing with, was it Fall Out Boy?
Oh yeah, that was a huge tour. Yeah. Big tour.
Tickets were expensive. I didn't get them yet, but I have someone who has an extra ticket for me.
And that's still on?
So far, but we'll see.
I know. We're kind of sitting here in this limbo of like, I think things are reopening, but
right. Like Frank, he's sitting in limbo.
Yeah. By the way, the show is so much, I don't know about you, but didn't the show just get so much better?
So much lighter.
We don't have all that Star Wars talk weighing us down.
Whew, God. Making me sweat all that Star Wars talk.
Right. Bryce is just waiting for the cancel and refund on the ticket. Still zero word at what's happening. I'm assuming they'll just cancel. Yeah, I think we're all in the same boat with concerts, which is weird because I just don't know. Like concerts and stand-up comedy, like, are we literally going to go a year without these things?
Oh, God.
And movies in theaters and stuff? Like,
I hope not. I've been wanting to go to Comedy Cellar. Have you ever been to that or no?
Yeah, I love.
Me too. And I really have been wanting to go for the last 3 years, but
we should go. Why don't we go see a show one night?
We should.
I've been to the Cellar, like, honestly, a good 50 times. Like,
wow.
I feel like that's a lot.
That is a lot.
I've
been probably 5 to 10.
I started going in high school. That was like the big thing to do in high school. It was like,
really? Okay.
Go to the Cellar. Yeah, because like you could get into the Cellar. I think you could get into the Cellar at 18.
Yeah.
Even though they serve booze. I don't know if there's still rules like that, but
I don't know.
So we used to go in like all the time because that was like, like an awesome
thing to do.
Yeah, it was like an awesome thing to do. And we had such a good, oh my God. We saw Colin Quinn, Jim Norton, Louis C.K., Bill Burr, like you name it, like all the
Yeah, there's a lot.
comics that are massive today, we were seeing back then
See,
for like literally for like $8. And then like sometimes we would go on like a Tuesday night and there was all the same huge names and it was like free to get in because they just wanted an
Yes.
audience and you had to buy
Exactly.
the 2 drinks. It was amazing. I don't
well,
know. The show feels
Frank
like
is
it's
back,
slowing
but
down
now I
now.
have to go.
Frank is back. Oh no.
Oh, Frank is back.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry about
that's
that. I don't know
that's
what
why
happened. I
that's
am
why
back.
the show got bad again. It was good for a while.
Sorry. I ruined everything.
All right, Janine,
Oh.
we'll let you go. Frank, do you have a thought on what people are going to do? Are we going a year without concerts, movies, and stand-up comedy?
Bye.
I think. Bye, Jenny. You're leaving. Bye. Okay.
All right, that just went.
I think. No, I think we'll get some stuff. It'll be different. It'll be virtual. Video, not live stuff. Maybe. I think the next time we go to like a theater for something, early next year, hopefully. I mean, I'm basing this on almost nothing.
I know.
I'm basing this on a feeling, just the way things have been going. Maybe the numbers will go way, way, way down, and maybe they'll have progress in science where we'll have some kind of vaccine or something that could help this. Hey, maybe around Christmas, maybe after, we'll be able to go to a concert. Who knows?
It just feels so weird that we're going to go a whole summer without these things. Like, or do we figure out a place where we can go? Like, all right, like let's take the Dave Matthews Band for example. They usually come to Jones Beach, and what's Jones Beach hold? 17,000 or whatever it holds, 15,000,
something like that. Sure.
Would they come to Jones Beach and play for 5,000 people? I feel like
How would they even do that?
I feel like
not even the band. Like, how would Jones Beach do that? How would they accommodate 5,000 people without them being? You'd have to be so far apart. It's hard to regulate that.
You'd have to sell you'd have to sell a row and then not sell 2 rows and then sell that row. And then in the row, you'd have to maybe
check 4 or
checkerboard
5 seats apart.
Yeah, checkerboard it so that it's like this big distance apart.
Even then, you sneeze, it's going. It's going to be hard to do. I mean, it would probably be concert at your own risk, but they open themselves up to lawsuits, potentially.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, could they get sued? Because I don't know
if I get sick at the Dave Matthews concert. I went to. They said it was going to be fine. They said social distancing. They said this. They said that. But people are going to be touching banisters. People are going to be, at the concession stand. How are you going to stop all that? I think this has to be solved. We can't be in a super rush to get back to normal.
Or do you think people will just say, "Screw it, I'll chance it. I'm gonna go." I feel like in some areas of the country you can do that more so than like in New York. Like no, but like in Florida and Arizona and some spots maybe.
The thing with that is people are going to want to. There are going to be a certain amount of people who say, "Screw it, I'll take my chances," but the people running things aren't going to take that chance. Like the people running Jones Beach and booking the shows,
I see they can't
aren't going to welcome people in. And potentially spread, something crazy.
Yeah, because it's not even like the people too. Like, what if an employee gets sick and dies and whatever? Like, the family can sue you, or
who knows?
I don't know if they can, but I'm sure they would try.
Who needs that? I mean, that it's not worth it for them. I feel unless they did like if I could see Dave Matthews, what would be interesting is if Dave Matthews did a concert. Let's say they did it at Jones Beach. If Jones Beach set up a camera in a couple of different spots around the theater, and maybe you pay to watch it. I don't know, like a pay-per-view kind of thing.
It's an interesting concept. Like, can you do it closed circuit and do it in an area where like you have to geofence it? Like you have to do it Or
Yeah,
maybe
because
you don't.
someone could record that and spread it around
Yeah,
like nothing.
I don't know. I wonder. Also, the economics of it too. Like bands like Dave Matthews Band or Metallica or Green Day. These are bands that don't need to make money, so they could go out and do a run where they break even or maybe lose a little. But then you probably have other bands that if they can sell out a 2,000 seat venue, they need all 2,000 seats of that venue and the
Right.
other 12 venues on their tour schedule to make it all work. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but you know what this might be good for? A lot of bands tour, and that takes them out of the studio. So this might actually keep them in studio or keep them home so that they write more. So you might see a big album boom once this is over.
I wonder if we will get an album boom. That's interesting.
Everybody's home. No one can tour, and the touring is obviously touring is where bands make their money. But now that they can't, I feel like this is a perfect excuse to stay in and start writing.
And it's not like making a movie because you can literally record and still be distant from one another. It's not like it requires that many more people.
Right, you record in your own house. All these people, most of these people have their own studios.
Yeah, very true.
I feel like that would be. I feel like in a couple of months you're going to see an album boom. You heard it here first on the Anthony on Air podcast.
All right, man. Yeah, it just feels weird. It feels like a lot of people, like especially like Dave fans, like every summer
feels weird?
in July, where you like. I know that he's always like my wife's birthday, my daughter's birthday, Dave Matthews is all like in 4 days of each other. Like they all come the same time every
There's
summer.
a lot of that. Look at Jimmy Buffett every summer, every August is at Jones Beach.
Yeah,
sold out every year, and it's a big social thing. That's going to be missed, but this is our thing that we tell our grandkids. Back in when I was in my 30s, we couldn't go anywhere. We were quarantined for a year. This is our thing. This is our cross to bear, I guess.
I'm gonna be in my 20s when I retell the story to my grandkids. It's gonna be the best, and be like I was out there with a He-Man sword fighting off coronavirus.
You were the lone warrior.
Well, I'm gonna tell.
The sword that did it.
By then, I'm sure it won't be a big deal. I'm gonna be like this. I came up with the vaccine for coronavirus. It was a big deal.
Everyone laughed at me.
Saved millions of people.
They all said I was crazy. But it was M&Ms. It was peanut M&Ms that did it.
It was when
It
was when we pumped ultraviolet rays through peanut M&Ms and then injected it into people with a little bit of Clorox that we were able to solve it. And I was
that one up for you.
What's on the coat rack today? I can't say. Is that an old lady's bag in a plastic bag?
It is not. It is a packet of hot dog buns.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, because I just miss barbecuing. I want to have a barbecue. I can't wait. I hope we can salvage something of this summer and get some kind of summer thing going. I don't think. What are we at now? We're in. It's April 27th. It's possible that we'll maybe save August. I don't know. What do you think? That's 3 months from now.
Yeah.
May, June, July, 4 months.
I don't know. I think I feel like there's two groups of people in the world right now. There are the ones that are like, screw this, I'm not going to get it. Let's go party. And there are the people that are like, this is terrifying and I'm not going anywhere. And I feel like I'm falling more in the latter of the I'm not going anywhere thing, where it's like,
it's scary.
I don't.
People we know. We constantly get texts. We both do. This person has it. A week later, this person passed away. It's like, it's scary. You can't run from that. You gotta wait it out. Sometimes you got no choice. This is one of those, we have no choice but to wait it out until they tell us different.
But that's my feeling of, and that's like why even if by August everybody's like, you can go out, there's nothing to worry about. It's just like, it's still not going to feel comfortable for me.
Yeah.
It's still going to be.
It'll be scary. Well, you know what it'll be? It'll be, hey, it's August. Hey, there's nothing to worry about, or whatever month it is. and then it'll be 2-3 weeks after that. After they make that announcement, it'll take a couple of weeks for everybody to fully trust that it's okay, because then all of these texts and messages that we get of people getting it, people being sick, those will all start to go away. You'll hear fewer and fewer cases. You'll hear people are recovering. You'll hear that it'll be an influx of good news that will push us back outside.
I hope so. Because the thing that I can't get out of my head is this is gonna flare up again, even if it is minor, and I don't want it. I don't want to be part of the flare. That's my thing.
It could flare up again, and that's why right now.
Wait, say that again.
Okay. I'm not on the ground. I'm not on the front line. I don't know for sure, but there are places that are reopening. There are states that are reopening. In my opinion, it's too soon, but I'm in New York, so I don't know. If a place like Georgia opens up or a place like Alabama opens up, is that right? I don't know, because can people travel in and out of Alabama now? Is that okay? Is that what they're saying? I mean, who knows?
No.
Because it could spread like that. You know, it could go from 1 case to 100 overnight.
But I mean, don't you also feel like I'm not so concerned about the spread of as much as I'm like, how am I going to say this? I don't want to get it or have my family get it. Like, I'm less concerned about the Georgia numbers than I am about like what's going on around here. And it's not like it matters how many people have it nationwide on whether or not you will get it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like me taking my family out of the house and that being safe, there's no guarantee in that anytime soon. And that's what
There's never a guarantee. Hey, God forbid you can step out of your house and get hit by a truck. But, you know, there's no guarantee that it's going to be safe, except when they say all the numbers are down. We have 1 case, you know, there's nothing happening in New York. We've got a vaccine. You know, they have to pump out the good news for us to be safe. I mean, if they're saying, yeah, numbers are low, but, you know, everybody goes out, it could just, why couldn't it spread out again? All of a sudden, the numbers shoot back up. What's to stop that?
And that's the other thing with our media today and where that's at. You know that they're just going to be honed in on every little bad story that they can find.
Yeah.
That's
what it is.
How far away are we from reopening till we hear coronavirus coming back tonight at 11? Like, I mean, it's just like,
is there a corona COVID-20? Who knows? You know, it could be anything. You don't know what's coming up in the future. Maybe there's another virus that comes out and then it kills corona. Who knows? I don't know.
COVID-20 could be in your bathroom faucet right now. News tonight at 11.
COVID-20 kills COVID-19, but it could kill you too. Who knows? But I think we're going to have to hear a lot of good news before we hear you can go back to your normal life again.
Which kind of sucks.
It does.
And this is, I want to say hey to Nick in the YouTube chat and,
what's up, Nick?
Angie.
Angie.
This is actually happening right by my parents in Ocala, Florida. They're saying that I almost don't want to say this because I want to do it myself, but they're saying that the drive-in movie industry is booming. There's a drive-in movie place there, and they're selling out like crazy because people have nothing to do.
Just don't go to the bathrooms or the concession stands.
Yeah, and you could drive. You can be socially distant. You can drive up. They got the big and I kind of want to go out and buy a huge screen, find one of these empty parking lots somewhere, and start charging $5 a car to show a movie.
Why not? Here's my question with drive-ins. I never understood this.
Okay.
I mean, if you're listening on I guess you tune into a radio station to get the sound from the movie?
Yes.
Okay. Do you keep your car running? You can't, right?
No. Well, you turn the car off, and then it's like you turn the car off.
You keep the battery on. Isn't that going to kill your battery after 2 hours?
Yeah, maybe. But I think there was also somewhere they had like a little thing like that you would pick up. It was like a little speaker, and you put it in the car.
There's how you spread the virus again. See?
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, usually it's
figure that out.
It's like a nice night where you'd have the windows open anyway, and you could hear, you could just
You hear the virus
sound.
coming.
You could hear the virus coming. Yeah, for sure. Bryce says that it's a little weird and she'd be terrified, but if Dave still played the Gorge, which is in Washington State, she might still go. I have serious FOMO and I'm a bit of a drug addict, so I'll go party, but stressfully. I said she.
Hey.
I don't know. Bryce could be a guy though. I don't know. See, but that's the problem. That is one of the issues, and this is what you and I have talked about, where it's like
FOMO or the drugs?
both.
Okay.
But it's like I feel like we could probably get back to normal life a little sooner if we killed travel, because that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to have us here in New York, where we can't go anywhere, and then we're reading all about how New Hampshire's open or whatever, Delaware's open, and everybody's going to get in the car and they're going to go running down to go see a show or go to the beach or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. So if a place opens up too early, what's to stop someone from going there and and spreading it all over again?
Yeah.
The movie Outbreak. It took everything. It takes one person and it starts this explosion.
I know. And that's the thing, like people that aren't in New York, they don't really get it because like you said, they're not really seeing it. They're not seeing it the way you and I are, where it's like, oh, so and so's dead now and they were here just last week, which is like a lot more crushing than just seeing a number on the news, which by the way, like if you live in Florida or if you live in Arizona, you're not seeing that number. Or even if you are seeing it, it flashes on the screen and then it's gone and it's like, who cares? It doesn't really impact you.
The population numbers are low there, and New York City, you got millions and millions of people. I mean, next door to my brother's next door neighbors, both of them, they passed away, or an older couple. Both of them, within 2 weeks, they were gone. It's something that's got to be, again, you got to have, the numbers have to go way, way, way down, and there's got to be some glimmer of a vaccine, or we're making progress, or we found something that holds it back or stops the spread. Maybe it's not something that.
Say it again.
Oh, I think I blipped out. Okay. I was going to say, maybe they find something that maybe doesn't cure it, but maybe they find something that stops it from being contagious. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is we're hanging such hope on a vaccine, and even a vaccine, like you get the flu shot, you still get the flu sometimes. Like it's no guarantee, and the flu don't kill you for the most part.
Could, yeah, for the most part, it does kill some people, but
this is obviously much worse than the flu.
It is.
So it's like even then we're still like chancing it in this major way.
I mean, the definition of a vaccine is something that totally kills the virus.
No,
because the polio vaccine knocked out polio.
Well, right? It stopped the Well, I get what you're saying. It stops the transmission so much, but it's not like the flu where we're gonna get it every year. Every year we're gonna get the flu. Flu's gonna come around. There's gonna be a flu season. Polio and all that other stuff we were able to stop because
we're walking into Corona season every year now.
That's what everybody's saying. Everybody's saying expect a flare up in September.
I know. I mean, it's got to be something that we have to eradicate it. It's got to be something that makes it disappear off the planet, like smallpox or something. I know smallpox isn't 100% gone, but we did a number on that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or like the plague. Plague still kind of exists. How is that not more spread out?
I don't know. It's just
how are they keeping that under wraps?
It's just strange again. Like I feel like people elsewhere can't understand it. Then when you're like, oh, so and so has coronavirus, and then you're like, oh, so and so's dead, and you're like, what the like, and that's happening to people around. Like I feel like this is in a way sort of become this New York centric thing because nobody's really seeing the numbers the way we are, and from a personal standpoint, nobody's really seeing the deaths the way like we are. So it's like,
yeah, I mean. I feel like almost everybody in New York knows someone who has it or had it or has passed away from it.
I'm probably 8 people. I know 8 people dead.
Yeah. My brother
and not like old
my
people.
have it.
Right. Yeah. But like, you know. Right, and that's the other thing. Oh, people who have it. Oh, I'm talking about like 8 people dead. People who
Dead,
have
yeah.
it are like, yeah, I don't know, higher number than that. But yeah, like you
Yeah,
said,
I
your
mean,
brother and your stepmom. Yeah,
yeah, they have it. They're on the upswing though. They're doing okay. But yeah, in terms of numbers of people who have passed away, yeah, it's up there. Everybody knows someone.
which makes it just like this weird, bizarre thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do other than maybe invest in drive-in movies. That feels like the next move.
Hey, let's do it, man. I'll put up 50%. Let's go.
There you go. All right. All right, we'll leave it there. This episode didn't make it to the Facebook page. We had a little tech glitch, but we'll figure that out. And of course, you can pick this up anywhere at anthonyonair.com and any of your favorite podcast apps. Download the app just to hear the audio version. And if you want to go back and see any of our previous episodes, it is on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Again, links available at anthonyonair.com. Thank you, Frankie C.
Anytime. Glad to be here.